People would love to hear about it. The Detroit Lions. You got to be a part of that broadcast in Green Bay
Yeah.
last year. What's the outlook for you, Mike Tirico, and the Lions in 2023?
I will say that without question, the number one question I've received this summer is, so the Lions real? And what do you think? Like, well, they were healthy last year, so let's remember that. But they did win 8 of their last 10. They have most of the big pieces back. It was a top 5 scoring offense. Coordinators back, quarterbacks back, key players are back. So the whole thing is set up for them to do well. The schedule, I think, is hard. They're not going to sneak up on anyone, but they will not be a shrinking violet in the spotlight of Week 1 against the Chiefs. We're so excited that that's the opener for the NFL season. If you would have told me at this time last year, next year, the opening game against the Super Bowl champs will be the Lions, we said, there's no possible way. But that just shows you what they have built. And it's not flash in the pan. It's not hold the mirror to the light and show a trick. Yeah. It's real. And I do believe that's a culture that has been built that they are building on. And I love their draft picks. Their draft picks are going to come in and play. They're not building for the future. They're building for tomorrow. And no city deserves a winning football team like this one. So if everything lines up, it could be a fun fall.
That culture that you speak of, we all see it here locally.
Yeah.
And people see with Dan Campbell, I think on the outside, they're starting to get it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not just the biting kneecaps guy. When you're in those production meetings and you got to see and sit with him and talk with him at least last year,
yeah,
he's the real deal. He's not just a big muscle guy. He's got a heck of a brain inside of it.
Oh, no, I was lucky enough to MC a panel at the Mackinac Policy Conference last week, and Dan Campbell was one of the speakers, and Dan's answers are thoughtful and sharp and smart, and nationally people are figuring out, okay, it's not just 1 or 2 sound bites that went viral, or it's not some cool clips that were on Hard Knocks on HBO. The team plays with smarts. And Dan took over the play calling a couple of years ago. He jumped in to do that. He's learned from some really good coaches, and he's taken what Parcells did when he was a player, what Sean Payton did when he was an assistant with Sean. He's taken the best of that stuff and put it in his own personality, and to me, that's when you win. Successful people in your personality, those traits into your words. And I think Dan's doing that. So this is much more than a soundbite. There's a style of football, and they know exactly what they're doing. So many teams are always in search of the next shiny object and draft as such. These guys know what they're doing, they know how they want to do it, and they're going about it in a very methodical way. And the most important thing to me, Brad, is that Brad Holmes, the GM, and Dan Campbell are together in philosophy and approach. Too many NFL teams go in different directions because the coach wants this, the GM wants this. These guys know what they want together, and that togetherness starts in the front office, moves to the coaches, and goes down to the field.
I didn't expect to keep you that long.
It's okay, bud. Oh.
Thank you.